Here's an example with a pilot flying. A pilot flies in a straight path for 1 hour 30 minutes. She then makes a course correction, heading 10 degrees to the right of her original course, and flies 2 hours in the new direction. If she maintains a constant speed of 615 miles per hour, how far is she from her starting position? Okay. So this pilot goes in a straight course. Well, we don't know if that's up, down, right, or left. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go totally straight. Maybe that's too far. Yeah, let me back up. So let me, she goes like, there we go, that far. Let's say, okay, so she's going in that direction. Here's where she starts. She's going straight. I'll just say straight to her. You could go straight up. It doesn't matter. It just says straight. Then, this is 1 hour. Let's just make that 1.5 hours, right? 1.5 hours. Okay, she then makes a course correction heading 10 degrees to the right. So at right here, she heads off at 10 degrees to the right. Oh, whoops. Let me try that again. I'll make my straight line tool. There we go, about like that. That's 10 degrees to the right. Let me make it a little bit larger just so we can see it easier. There we go. Yeah, I know it's only 10 degrees, but I'm going to make it look like more than 10 just so we can see it better. Okay, so there we go. There's where she stops, meaning this angle is 10 degrees. That makes sense. She turned 10 degrees to the right from where she was headed. So she was going straight, then she went 10 degrees to the right. Finish up. She did that for 2 hours. In fact, let me write that up here. 2 hours. Okay, and then the question is, she maintains, how far is she from her starting position? So in other words, they want to know how far from here all the way to there. Call this X. That's what they want to know. She starts, she ends here. Well, how far did she go? Well, she did 1.5 hours at 615 miles each hour, so you have to multiply that, don't you? She was traveling in the plane at a speed of 615 miles per hour for 1.5 hours. So you got to multiply that by 1.5, right? That when you're going 615 miles an hour, that means you go 615 miles every hour. And she did that for 1.5 hours. So it's 1.5 times 615 is 922.5 miles in that direction. And the other one, 2 times same speed, constant speed. 615, it would be, what's that? 1230. Looks like it's the wrong place. I'll just put it right here, equals 1230 miles. She went 1230 miles, 2 times 615. Okay, well, the question is, what is X? To find X, we need to first find this angle here. How do we find that angle? Well, that angle there is going to be 180 minus 10 degrees, which is 170. This angle here has got to be 170 degrees, right? Because this makes 180. This is half a circle. So this is using up 10 degrees. So this part's got to be 170. Now, do you see I can use law of cosines? When you have two sides and the angle in between, you can find the opposite side using the law of cosines. So here's the law of cosines. 3 versions of the law of cosines. It's always A across from A, B across from B, C across from C. Whenever you use the law of cosines with the other letters in between. So for example, A is across from A with B and C in between. Or B is across from B with A and C in between, etc. So we go down here and we go, okay. So the law of cosines tells us that x squared is the other two sides squared. 922.5 squared plus 1230 squared minus 2 times one of the sides times the other side times the cosine of the angle in between, 170 degrees. So there we go. Hit the buttons on your calculator for all of that. Do you see we have to use law of cosines here? We can't use law of sines because we don't have any side in the opposite angle. Yeah, leave it at that. I'm getting 4, 5, 9, 8, 779.724 root it, and x will equal, hitting the square root button, using the answer button on my calculator, 2144.476. How much? They didn't say how far to round, did they? So maybe here I'll just give you all the digits I've got. That many miles. Just type in the whole thing. That'll be good. So that's how many miles she is from her starting position using law of cosine.